Right now, let's bring the Republican Senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, serves on the Judiciary Committee. And, sir, good day to you. We got a lot to get through in the next 4 minutes, okay? Within the last hour, James Comey was on CBS. He was asked this question. Watch here.
The Attorney General says he believes spying occurred in looking after the president's then campaign. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I have no idea what he's talking about. The FBI doesn't spy. The FBI investigates. We investigated a very serious allegation that Americans might be hooked up with the Russian effort to attack our democracy. The Republicans need to breathe into a paper bag.
Okay. Not sure what you brought to work today. What do you think of that response there?
I think it's clear to most Americans that Mr. Comey is not and never was a law enforcement professional. He's just a hack politician. It doesn't give me any joy to say that. I think he's worried, and he should be, that Mr. Barr and the Inspector General are going to look further into the genesis of the investigation of the Trump campaign and the investigation of the Clinton campaign. And I think they're going to find that all roads lead to Mr. Comey.
Wow.
Why he did what he did, I don't know. But it is breathtaking to the extent that he has hurt the FBI, which is the premier law enforcement agency in all of human history, and which we need to work hard toward getting their reputation back, thanks to Mr. Comey's tarnishing of that agency.
I don't know if you saw the Wall Street Journal this morning. Here's their front page story, and the headline reads like this. Watchdog probes FBI reliance on dossier in surveillance of Trump aide. The investigation apparently underway wants to know why you relied on a dossier that was paid for by the DNC. Doesn't that go back to James Comey yet again?
I think all roads lead back to Mr. Comey. Mr. Comey he's not the only one up here in Washington, but he's part of the Washington insider political elite. They think they're smarter than the American people. They think they're more virtuous than the American people. They didn't think the American people in 2016 were smart enough to pick a president. So Mr. Comey and others tried to put their thumbs on the scale. And he's hurt a lot of people, and he's hurt a lot of important institutions to our system of government in the process. And I think Mr. Comey is lashing out now because he knows what's coming.
Mitch McConnell said the case is closed. He delivered a stinging speech on our program yesterday. Senator Schumer followed up by saying this on the floor of the Senate.
Our leader says, let's move on. It's sort of like Richard Nixon saying, let's move on, at the height of the investigation of his wrongdoing. Of course, he wants to move on. He wants to cover up. He wants to silence on one of the most serious issues we face.
So then there you have the back and forth, and in an hour we see the hearing. What gives today in this contempt hearing with Bill Barr, do you think, Senator?
Well, the theory of Senator Schumer's case seems to be that somebody is covering up a crime that was never committed. This one's not hard to figure out. Many of my Democratic friends are not happy unless they're unhappy. They don't like the results of the Mueller investigation. They thought that Mr. Mueller was going to indict the president. The Mueller report comes down and it recommends no indictments of the president. The Mueller report is all of a sudden an impurity in their punch bowl, a hair on their biscuit. So they can't get mad at Mr. Mueller and criticize him because they have worshipped him for 2 years, so they've got to turn on Bill Barr. And what they're doing to Bill Barr is ludicrous. They've accused the man of everything.
Well, he seems to be a clear target right now.
Oh,
Senator.
he's clearly a target. And they're asking Barr to go to jail. They're telling him, release the grand jury information to us. They know he can't. It's a violation of federal law. They want him to do it, and probably if he did do it, then they'd say, okay, you violated federal law, you ought to be prosecuted. Well, this is all about deflecting from the results of the Mueller investigation.
That hearing starts in 45 minutes, and we're watching for headlines. Sir, thank you for your time as always. Senator Kennedy, thank you for coming back. Got a big show this